Hello, my dear friends. It's Carrie at HolisticPsychic.com bringing you another episode of Tarot for the Soul. I just finished going for a sunset hike in my neighborhood, and I'm feeling really relaxed and settled into myself, and I'm ready to get into this weekly reading for the collective for all of us. So we all know that we're in, transformative times. We've been talking about this for the past several weeks, and things are shifting. And I'm really excited to take a peek at what special messages might be wanting to come through in the cards. So today, I'm going to do a special 5-card spread that is specifically around where we're at on our spiritual journey. And as usual, this reading is for the collective. So where are we at collectively in our spiritual journey? What energies do we have available to support? What challenges are we navigating? And we'll see what else wants to come up. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So I'm just taking a moment here to focus in. I'm using my Osho Zen Tarot deck today. I love working with this deck in regard to looking into deep spiritual matters. And so let me just take a moment to tune in here. I'm just giving the cards a few more shuffles here. Okay, and I'm feeling ready to select. I'm going to select 5 cards all together. And I'm going to start with card number 1, which is representing where are we at collectively on our spiritual journey right now. I feel like it wants to be this one. Silence, the silence card. So collectively, where we're all at on our journey, I would say is we are experiencing an initiation of the third eye chakra. And the reason I'm saying that is because the image on this card shows a sky. It's the colors of the third eye chakra and the crown chakra. There's an image of a face that is interwoven into the sky. But there is a luminary right at the third eye chakra, which looks like the moon to me. And so, activation of the third eye chakra collectively. We're all being guided in the direction of strengthening, honing, sharpening, especially clairvoyance. And this is actually bringing up something that I'm going to share about this because, as some of you know, I specialize in teaching psychic development. And also as a yoga teacher, I have a lot of specialized knowledge in regard to the chakra system. And so with the third eye chakra, it is connected to clairvoyance. However, the thing that I want to share is that each of our psychic senses have 2 different aspects. There's the receptive aspect and the projective aspect. So we can receive information clairvoyantly, which means receiving information spiritually in the form of visual images. But our third eye chakra is also our center for focus, concentration, imagination, and visualization. So we can look at this from both of those aspects. This third eye chakra activation that we're experiencing collectively this first week of November supports us in connecting with our ability to receive spiritual insight through the third eye chakra, which would be in the form of visual images. But it's also supporting us in focusing, concentrating our intention, our energy, and our attention towards what we're envisioning for ourselves in moving forward in our lives. Use your imagination, utilize the power of imagination to really get a crystal clear vision about what you specifically are intending for yourself and moving forward, and then aligning your energies, your intentions, and your attention with that vision is a really empowering way to get energy moving forward, especially now that Mercury is direct. Okay, so let me take a look here. When I'm looking at this card, it is assigned to the number 8 in numerology. 8 is the number of success that comes through living in alignment with what your inner guidance is compelling you towards. So again, this is saying to me that as we can get clear on that higher calling that I've been talking about for the past few weeks, it feels like now is the time to really get clear on what that vision is. And with this card being assigned to the number 8, it's almost assuring us that as we have a clear vision and we align our intentions and our attention and our actions in alignment with that vision, there's no possible way that it won't manifest. So this is a really empowering time, the beginning of an empowering time in the step of in the direction of manifestation. The next card I'm going to look at is showing us what the core lesson is or opportunity for soul growth is in regard to this activation that we're having of the third eye chakra. The Lover's card showing up reversed. The Lover's card, as we know, can signify matters having to do with relationships. It doesn't have to be romantic relationships. It can be any type of significant relationship. And we do have some astrology going on this week that it inspires us to really sort of assess and take a look at relationship dynamics in our life. So that's an aspect of it. But when I see the Lover's card reversed, showing up in the position that says what our opportunity for soul growth is in regard to where we're at in our journey right now, I see a message around taking responsibility and accountability for what you are aligning with and what you are creating and what you are choosing on your path. Because on one level, the Lover's card can be a little bit about projections, projecting onto other people things that are going on within you. So when this card is reversed, it's taking accountability and responsibility for what you're choosing for yourself and how you're acting and how that is connected to the reality that you're experiencing. It feels like the lesson is that we have to be the ones to advocate for ourselves. We have to be the ones to show up for ourselves. And that means not only just idly standing by and having wishful thinking, but being really clear and deliberate around your intention, your vision, your focus, and being willing to align your actions in the direction of that. So I would say that the opportunity for soul growth is self-accountability, self-responsibility, self-guidance. This is very connected to the messages that have been coming through over the past few weeks around us being called to rise into our higher calling. Now is the time, but it's not going to happen if you don't have a clear vision of what that is, or if you're not taking action along those lines. So this activation of the third eye chakra is really supporting us and having the vision. Then it's just being committed to those things. Let's take a look at the energy that's here to help us with these processes this week. This is the one that came up, and it's playfulness showing up reversed as the energy that's here to help us. It's about a balance because it's showing up reversed, not taking things too seriously, lightening up a little bit, finding a balance between, you don't want to be like so playful that you're not tending to cultivating the deeper layers of whatever is important to you in your life, but you don't want to take things so serious that you're not enjoying life and not having fun. So the energy of playfulness, balanced playfulness, there's a lot of serious energy happening in the world lately because of the election and all of that. We don't want to get so much in our heads and so much triggered into the uncertainty into everything that we're forgetting to enjoy life. Life is to be experienced. Life is to be utilized in ways that enrich our souls. Allow yourself to find ways to experience that this week. Okay, let's take a look at the challenge energy that's showing up. The burden. So the challenge is not allowing burden energy to weigh you down. Now, I would be willing to suspect that a lot of burden energy that some of us are experiencing right now is not necessarily a burden that is coming from like your own unresolved issues and problems. There might be a glimmer of that, but it's also taking on the heaviness that's going on in the world right now empathically. For those of us out there who are empaths, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's, crazy, intense uncertainty, fear, being bombarded left and right. And that's a heavy energy to deal with. And it is being projected onto the humanity collectively right now through the media and all of that. So we don't want to allow that energy to steal our light, steal our fire, and rob us of vibrancy. I feel like, there's a strong message around rising up, not allowing yourself to cave, not be defeated by low vibrational energies, especially since much of the low vibrational energies that are being propagated are based on a bunch of over-exaggerated half-truths. I spoke about this a few weeks ago. It's coming up. So be aware of where you might be subconsciously taking that on. Clear yourself from it. We're in a waning phase of the moon right now. We just had the full moon. So now that energy is waning and dissipating, and it's a really good use of the energy to do anything that you need to do to clear yourself of any unwanted energies. So the challenge card is not taking on burdens, but there's things we can do about that. We can be cognizant of it and purposely choose to clear it, release it, revitalize our own energy field, shifting into empowerment and being a source of light. Radiating light, again, is a really good way to counteract the tendency that empaths have to absorb energy like a sponge. Radiate light instead. The last card I'm going to look at is the overall message from the universe that wants to come through these messages that have happened already. This is like the advice card, the advice energy. And it's aloneness, which is sort of circling back around to the original first card that we got, which is silence. Aloneness does not mean embodying loneliness. It actually is connected to allowing yourself to be guided by your own light. This card is inspiring all of us, again, to be on our own journey. This is the time where we have to really tap into our own guidance and do what we feel compelled to do and resist the urge to conform to what everyone else is doing, because what everyone else is doing may not necessarily be aligned with what your higher path is and what your higher calling is. So we're all collectively and respectively individually on this journey of, you could look at it as like seeking your higher path, or you can look at it like awakening into your higher path. It's already there and available to you. We just have to rise up into it. And this aloneness card is saying nobody can do it for you. You have to be the one to do it. So this is the Osho Zen Tarot, and this is reminding me there's a book by Osho called Love, Freedom, and Aloneness. I have it on my bookshelf that I'm looking at right now. And this aloneness card, since this is the Osho Zen Tarot, I'm sure was inspired by that book. And the teachings in that book are all about growth processes that bring you into the ability to be ecstatically joyful in life as a sovereign individual. You're not being codependent. You're not relying on other people to guide you forward or to soothe wounds or loneliness or anything like that. We are learning to be in our empowerment as individual beings that are all contributing to the collective. Look at the collective consciousness, the collective unconsciousness, the collective superconsciousness as being a star with many, many points, right? So the collective is the star, but each point is an individual consciousness that is emanating from the core of that star. Each beam of light is connected to the whole, but radiates in its own trajectory, in its own path, in its own direction. And that's what this aloneness card is about. Let yourself beam your light in ways that you feel compelled to, in alignment with what you feel your higher calling is in your higher path. This is the time for this. This theme has been coming up for weeks now. And, you know, my sense is psychically that over the course of the next few weeks, we're all sort of calibrating, right? Calibrating and fine-tuning that sense of clarity. And then as we're getting out of the shadow period with Mercury, now that it's direct, we still have to give it a little bit of time to completely move forward. We're going to start feeling like we can start taking positive actions or making positive strides on our path. I keep feeling that even before the end of this year, collectively, we're all going to feel like we're making headway on a new path. We're all going to feel like we have made a significant shift onto a new path, and that new path is being even further activated as we come into January. So let's see how that plays out. I'm really curious myself because I've been feeling this for weeks now. Anyway, I'm going to keep this one short today because I just did the upload for the energy update for November yesterday. So I'll put the link up here so you can refer to that for a deeper insight as to what's going on for the month. And I've got another special video that I'm going to be uploading later this week that is supporting our healing work with decoding the messages in our dreams. So I will see you later this week in that video, and have a good one. Blessings and namaste.